So we have handled CSRF and fixed the 419 error. But right now our form accepts any input, and that is a problem. There are no rules, no restrictions, and of course you can see it's not safe. So right now in this video I will show you how to validate your request with Laravel, how validation rules work, and how to display proper error messages inside your form. So let's quickly move over to VS Code. I will use a split screen so that we can see the browser and yes, so we can see the browser and VS Code all at the same time. Yes. So now we have built a simple form and added CSRF protection. Now we will need to protect our database from bad or incomplete input. So let's switch over to our controller file and add our validations. So now I'll quickly tweak this and add our validation. So I have to be, we won't use request because we already have it imputed here. So let's just use the validated instead. So I'll be quick about this. So we'll use the name and the email for now. Yes, we'll use the name and the email for now. Let's quickly, sorry, yes, okay, yes, that should do it. I think I'll use a mean 3 here. Yes, no marks over here. That should do it. So that should do the trick. So right now you might be wondering, what are these codes? So this is a Laravel validation rule, a required rule. It means the field cannot be empty. When you use this rule on an input, that field can never be empty. Then the string rule, this means that it will be strictly strings, no numbers. While the mean tree, when you see mean is to tree, it means minimum of 3 letters. So anything less than 3 letters throws an error. So moving over to the email, this is the email input, required rule, and the email rule. The email rule ensures the input follows a valid email format. So let's quickly understand what this whole validation stuff is all about. So think of validation like a security guard at the entrance of your application. If someone tries to enter without proper details, they are stopped before they ever reach your database. So now let's go back. Yeah, let's save this. I think I'll save this. First of all, I need to change this. I want to use an email for this, not a message. So I take this off and add this instead. Yes, so let's save, refresh. So when we submit Laravel, if you notice what happens, we submitted, we didn't get our success message as we used to. Laravel automatically redirects back to the form when validation fails. So whenever you submit and your form is redirected, you don't know what's happening. It means there's an error going on behind the scenes. So now, how do we see this error? How do we make that error visible? The only way to make this error visible, there are so many ways, but I will show you an easy way. So the first thing is to go under each input wherever you, if you want, you can put it at the top, you can put it at the bottom, but let's make it organized so we can know exactly which. So you do at error name, then I will let VS Code complete this for me. I go under the email, I do at error email, I let VS Code complete it for me. So that is that. So let me quickly explain what is happening on our screen. So the at error directive, this is the Laravel directive. It checks if there's a validation error for that field. So when you do at name, this name is the name of the input. So right here, we named our input name. So we did at error name. So moving over to at message, it contains the actual error message generated by Laravel. So whenever we want, so when you want to see what error is happening in a particular input, you will name that input, then call on the Laravel error directive and put in the name of the input in the directive. So now that directive will then grab the actual error and display it in the message directive. So I hope in the message attribute, I hope you understand what's going on. So same goes to the email. We named the input email, we grabbed the input name to the error directive, then whenever an error happens in this email, the at message displays the exact error happening in that input. So let's complete this. I just figured we didn't complete it, so save. So now so whenever a validation fails, Laravel automatically redirects back and flashes these error messages to the section. So that is the reason why we can use this at error in our HTML file. And it also preserves old inputs automatically, so users don't have to retype everything. So let's go back to our form, submit, and voila, we can see the error messages being displayed. So let's put in a valid input. Okay, let me use this and submit, and it goes through. So I hope that is understandable. So what happens? What are the common mistakes beginner makes? Like, what happens when your Laravel form isn't working? What are the major mistakes you should look about? So sometimes we forget to add the name attributes to input. Sometimes we forget our CSRF. Sometimes not displaying validation errors in the view. So you might forget to use the at error attribute or using incorrect validation rules. So we should be careful whenever working with Laravel forms to put our rules. So now that our form is validated properly, the next step is saving this data into the database. So if you're following along, the full Laravel forms explained playlist is linked below.